Yeah. This is the aim. Hey. Success is the aim. Hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. Success is the aim. Hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. Hey. Make it rain on a sunny day. Haters watch like rain, rain, go away. I'm Phil Jackson, tryna make a play. 4 kids on my ass, I gotta say today. Father told me, plus he showed me how to make a way. It's up to me, and all I see is claiming fit the rate. Be in the sky before I let you niggas get to me. If you ain't real, then you can't never been no kin to me. Love all the hate, I really thrive off the energy. I fell off and lost all of my fake friends. No love lost, my heart could never cave in. I take a loss for a loss, I never lose again. Success is the aim, hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. Success is the aim, hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. Success is a good aim, hope you got a good aim. Hood nigga, hood bitch, yeah, it's a hood thing. I'm a real nigga, yeah, that's what the hood claim. Niggas snatching chains, all they know is bang, bang. Yeah, he only 9 years old, still toting that chrome thing. If he pull it out, it'll make a nigga see the wrong thing. Mama kicked me out cause I was doing too much dumb thing. Shooting that fuck niggas just for fun thing. I'm the gorilla in the jungle, on this beat nigga I'm hunting. Can't go home with nothing, so nigga I'ma take me something. Depend on no nigga if you wanna make some money. Unless you wanna be the nigga watching other niggas stunting. Success is the aim, hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. Success is the aim, hope you got a good aim. Niggas snatching change for $1 fucking name. He don't want the fame, he just trying to bust a stain. Salute to the youth, man, y'all about to change the game. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears we all gon' face it. Our dreams we all gon' chase it. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears we all gon' face it. Our dreams we all gon' chase it. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears we all gon' face it. Our dreams we all gon' chase it. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears we all gon' face it. Our dreams we all gon' chase it. Road to riches, me and Miss Mercedes. I guess no brakes, though the money couldn't save it. It won't be long for the devil try to take me. I cherish every moment God ever gave me. Not drinking lean, but smoking green. Y'all smoke, bring the team. You ain't tripping on the money scheme. Got me chasing dreams. Gotta get it now, win it now. Ain't no such thing as a top. Least in my dictionary, evil thoughts I had to bury in my mother's cemetery. Stepped up like the military. Ain't no version to this rap. I already popped the cherry, born in Halloween. That's why these niggas acting scary, want it like a fiend. Keep being great is necessary. Loss is only temporary. Always standing strong, not a victory. Pray to leave misery alone. 93, my cologne, I be wildin' out. Fuck these hoes, yeah, that money what I'm wildin' out. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears we all gon' face it. Our dreams, we all gon' chase it. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears, we all gon' face it. Our dreams, we all gon' chase it.
I pray to God a nigga really make it out this dungeon. Ay, mama ain't never had shit, so a nigga really came from nothing. Ay, they could look in my eyes and see the soul of the righteous. Ay, yeah, I'm from the dirt, but now I'm taking off like a pilot. Ay, running back to the base, I'm putting my foot on their neck, raiding advantage for my people. Never lay down, we getting them checks. Ay, you had a lot of patience, now it's time for you to get blessed. You and your own race, ain't in no competition with the rest. I embrace the side of me that'll keep me close to my rivalries. Can't get too comfortable, you gon' be stuck beneath the powder leaves. Catching my knees so often I'm getting closer. Hey, so when the young nigga drop, it just over.
I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears, we all gon' face it. Our dreams, we all gon' chase it. I pray we all gon' make it. I pray we all gon' make it. Our fears, we all gon' face it. Our dreams, we all gon' chase it.
Man, it's not Taco Tuesday, but they keep on popping up on my phone. I've been telling y'all about Luna when Luna was at $6, $5. Hey, the first time I told anybody about Luna was at like 82 cents. She had $23. I don't know nothing about investing, bro. But I'm just throwing that out there. The first time I told somebody about this shit was in the cents. Now at $23. And I've been calling the pullbacks. Like right now we got a Cardano pullback to 216. Let me stop talking about this John, bro. Empress, you got me lined up as far as on there. Solano ran crazy. Vito, man, I'm done. On the John that you all supposed to be on for the Sunday cast. Ross Lash is what we always go to.
No, give me 1 second, Bridget.
Yeah, that's all I was kept on talking. But yeah, man, thank everybody for coming through, bro. I guess we could start off somewhere super light, man. You know, this is we hear the news. It ain't even light, so I ain't even about to say it. But I'm gonna play it right now. Can you just go to the history 1 second? Yeah, because it's in there, but you're gonna take too long because I'm trying to hurry and get on there. Now that's Giannis to play Giannis, and then everything else is in the Ross Lash. Okay. So, but I just want to kind of start the cast off with something thought provoking. Like we should be getting ready. Not exactly yet.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
You worked out with him. What did you learn? Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
You worked out with him. What did you learn from him?
Lad, you gotta be simple. You gotta be simple. You gotta work on your craft. You gotta think outside the box, and you always gotta be a kid. That's what he told me. I said, be a kid. What do you mean by be a kid? Like, you gotta mature. You gotta be a man. You know, so when you step on the floor, you got to be a man. Like, show them that you're here. He said, no, what I mean by being a kid, he said, kid, use their fantasy. Like, you can see a kid being creative and playing with 2 rocks and playing around with them. And he said that when you're a kid, you always want to learn. You always want to learn. You ask questions. You ask questions every time. Why do I do this? Why am I sitting in the passenger seat? Why am I going to school today? Like, you always ask questions. So he told me, always be a kid.
All right, so yeah, that's what I'm starting off at, man. Because in this society, everybody is too adult. and not adult in the responsibility, right? Adult and everybody think they have so much to do, right? Everybody what's a good word for how they kind of view it? Because they're not adulting. Because I kind of want to say everybody just being adults, and like he was saying, like, right, when you play basketball, you say, bro, I gotta be a man, right? I gotta stand up for my own and be a man. And Kobe's like, what are you talking about, bro? It's about creativity. It's about always remaining free, right? And if anybody read the scripture, the Most High say in the scripture that the kingdom of heaven is basically led by the child. That the child will lead the kingdom of heaven. So when you hear that, you got to kind of think of those same concepts. So while Kobe was telling them that, like I tell everybody, about majority percentage of the game is mental, right? There's players like Scalabrini, right? I don't know how good he was or how bad he wasn't. But what I can say is that he had some type of thinking ability to last whatever amount of years with no athletic prowess. He was tall though. That'll always give you the benefit of the doubt. It's always gonna give you the benefit of the doubt if it's a taller brother. I can hear something over there. It's kind of messing me up.
Sorry.
Nah, you cheat. But so when I heard that just the other day, like I said, I really wanted that for Taco Tuesday because it's really with the investments, right? Because I really want to just kind of gear it towards that. But just as in a whole, bro, with a lot of this stuff going on, we can feel too old, right? We start feeling like we elders, and I don't know what we start thinking, but we lose the sense of creativity. And the way we got into this was somebody being creative. Somebody had a childish like plan to say, yo, I want to control people's things, right? Because as an adult, you say, yo, what's mine is mine, what's his is his, what's hers. You feel me? You kind of.
So are you saying with being in that childlike mind state, it's like the imagination is alive?
Mm-hmm.
But once you kill the child or that childlike mind, that creativity and that imagination is killed.
And then we get stuck in this spot of no growth, right? Which is why you'll see a lot of these sports. It's like, it's not really going anywhere. Like I said, now what they're doing is trying to enhance the players in itself. Yo, we can get better tech or like a better way to heal yourself, but it's not, the game isn't growing, right? From like Kobe to from like Jordan, or just from before Jordan, Dr. J and them boys to Jordan, it was changing the game. From Jordan to Kobe changed things. From even Kobe to LeBron kind of came in with the bigger body. So there's always new things that you do kind of to create a new style. But even with Curry, them, like I said, I'm not a big fan of what the Golden State Warriors did and kind of how they went about playing basketball. But if you even think about that situation, bro, they was able to be childish. Like that was their whole thing with the Splash Brothers. Like it was just, yo, whatever we create, we create. If we shoot from half court, we shoot from half court. These always been things of like, you don't want to do that. You're an adult. You feel me? It's just like you start becoming better than you may really be.
Almost.
You feel me? So and like I said, it's good at times. So you don't want to push back on it too much. But what Kobe was really letting him know is, bro, the skill, all that stuff. This is basketball, bro. You at this level now. You already worked on that. You have to figure out how to think outside the box of doing everything, because we all technically do the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of confused. Or in my mind, it contradicted itself because it was saying like you have to like have the childlike mind, but in the same essence, you have to like think outside the box. Or I don't know.
That's what a child do, though.
Let me see. Yeah, because he said something else that like kind of took me for a loop.
Right.
Can you put it on screen? Oh shoot! Sorry.
What do you mean by be a kid? Like you gotta mature, you gotta be a man. You know, so when you step on the, what do you mean by be a kid? Like
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
You worked out with him. What did you learn from him?
Lad, you gotta be simple. You gotta be simple. You gotta work.
Okay, that's what it was. It was him saying the simplicity and then also thinking outside the box. And I was like, how do you remain simple and think outside the box at the same time?
What you mean? That's the actual simple thing for a human is to be outside the box, right? That's why he said be a child. That's why Kobe told him to be a child, because the simplest thing for any human should be to be simple. Complexity comes within living in a society. It's just what we do, nigga, to live in societies. You gotta learn how to talk to people. You gotta learn how to respect people. That's all complexity. A child is, I'm just here and I'm trying to figure out a way to entertain myself. Like, I don't think they think about nothing super deep besides that. How can I keep myself entertained? How can I create this? How can I do this? It's just whatever they want to do, they do it. It's simple. The process of creation is simple. So that's the only thing. Like with humans, maybe we know so much, but the process of creation become complex where we're like, okay, I say I want that. I need to go work a job and buy it. And
like, what are you saying? The complexity becomes a thing when you're inundated with other people's ideologies? Like, how do we become so complex?
Whatever adults? Number one thing is to fit into society. That's why Kobe told him to think outside the box, because everybody in society think that these are the ways to think. Nobody told you that you should go to the NBA and try to be a man. You watch NBA and you say, yo, these are men. But you don't understand the psychology of how they're using it. So what you just asked me?
As far as adults and when they actually cross the line over from having that childlike creativity to just a dead flame almost. Like, how, like, what is causing that? And you're saying that it's just trying to be accepted by society.
Yeah. Once you see society doing things, you start doing things. And like I said, if you knew the people that did it and you was able to have a personal conversation with them, that's why everybody talk about mentors so much, right? You tell you, yo, if that person can go through it, nigga, and tell you what they went through, it's better. Like, we look at things and we try to
reinvent.
Yeah, and that's good if you don't have no way of getting in contact with people. Right? But one of the best ways is to have somebody that literally just did it and he tell you exactly what he did and what messed them up. And that's the same thing like when you watch the NBA, if you're not able to talk to these players, you say, yo, they're adults. Look how they play. They got to be playing aggressive. You don't understand that some people is playing with a flow state, or all those words are new words that we're using. You're in a flow state. It's like everything comes naturally. Like you just get the ball and you just shoot it. It's nothing about you trying to go hard around everybody and trying to run past everybody and trying to just you just like you get it and you just shoot it. You just get it and just shoot it. And this is a common thing they say in basketball. They say the basket is as big as the ocean, basically. That just means you just can't hit, and that's when they go to heat checking, where people start shooting from half court, shooting from center court. It just once the thing becomes instilled, the simplicity of it. Because like I said before, when you see other people do it, you look at it and you say, okay, he had to do something complex. He's working on 1,000 jump shots. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing this. The complexity is already there. His form is this way. He got a perfect form. He don't jump no. I'm telling you, it's a lot of different ways to shoot. They'll tell you that great shooters they have a small lift off the ground. Like they don't really jump off the ground. But then you will see other great shooters where they lift up real high off the ground to get the shot. So
conformity in a sense is I'm here. Like if someone tries to conform me, there's a higher chance of my creative energies being killed, I guess.
Yes, ma'am. Because whatever system to fit into this system, it's a facade, right? So you can't just be in the system and not look like you're supposed to be here. And that's the image they try to keep around things, so they can say, you can't be here. Just look at these players. Look how tall these players are.
That's what always has been an irritant of mine. Is like people seeing you doing it a different way and it offends them almost. It's like, no, you're not supposed to do it like that. It's like, but I'm getting it done. What are you talking about? It's like the fact that I have dreads or the fact that I have a beard is somehow affecting me getting it done. And it's like, no, it's not. It's affecting you because you want to have the same image, but you conformed. To me, it's made no sense. It's inconvenient. Everything has never worked out for me when I did it. For you, you found a way to conform to this. So now it's just like, all right, you go do that. But me personally, it's a whole irritant for me. I'm almost allergic to that conformity. So yeah, I definitely see what you're saying in regards to that creative energy being killed just off of you getting baited into how another nigga feel about a situation.
And like I said, I always ask, right, because that's a good point, right? But I always try to figure out, okay, to what extent can we go where it's like, nah, he got the right way. You got to conform to that, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to figure out, that was my next question. Where do you draw the line of being childish versus being like...
Nah, you're not childish, you childlike. I feel like you have to
What's the difference?
I feel like, well, just me saying it, I feel like if somebody's childish, they're acting like a child. Right? Mm-hmm. Childlike, you're being a child. Right? Just to be like something is to be like. Ish is just a nigga pretending. Jewish, blackish, whitish, orangish. You feel me? It's kind of peach. Mm-hmm. But if you say, yo, that bro light pink. It could be a person, he light pink. Or his color's so close to pink, it's like, he like pink. I don't know what I am. You feel me? It's just the like versus the isms. Because that's what it really is. It's isms. It's just exercising bullshit. Mm-hmm. Kids, they don't do none of that. They don't have no isms. No, they just go, bro. Like I said, we have to, it has to be like a certain balance where it's like, yo, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you're doing something complex and you made it because you were complex and you figured something out, I don't have to follow that way, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're just telling me the basics, bro, I don't know who you feel me. I can't be like, whoa, I don't have to do it that way. Everybody have to. Everybody do, right? But they tell you that's called reinventing the wheel. That's called pointless. There's a bunch of people that reinvented wheels. There were people that thought that maybe a square wheel is better, maybe a triangle wheel is better. Mm-hmm. It just didn't work. So that same bro that got the little circle boy, it just worked out. Right, so when they use that concept, it's like some things are just innate, something is just natural, and that's what I was saying as far as the child. Mm-hmm. It's just always natural. It ain't even about me saying, "Yo, you trying to control me for this." It's like everything that feels natural is what I'm doing, but that's in a creative space. Basketball, music, anywhere like that, that's a creative space. Mm-hmm. But in life, in places that I need to depend on you and able to come to you and ask you about things, you got to have a little more structure. But your imagination is still what we want, which is why, like I said, like big business is like, well, good business is like a Apple, and or even what they say with Bezos, depending on who you with. Mm-hmm. It's some CEOs and these people that give you the leeway to be as imaginative as possible, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get the job done, bro, you could be a child until you die. Right, one of our favorite brothers that's out here doing the music shit, Cambada. He always explained that's his shit. He's just a child. That's his main way of dealing with it. He just, bro, I don't care. I'm not taking nothing serious. Like he's a child, and he understand that he's not functionable in the real world. That's the thing we have to understand. Like we can't just be not listening to, you feel me? And that's my only problem when somebody say, yo, I ain't gotta listen to that way. I can do it. Yeah, but you're not really functioning. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that you're a good artist, bro, but you're not a good human. You feel me? So we got to get to that. We got to get like a balance, or we got to use it. Use your strength where your strength's supposed to be used. Mm-hmm. Right? Use your imagination where. Yeah,
the ultimate goal is a balance and a formal equity of that childlike being, and then that understanding how to navigate the adult world. Mm-hmm. To be taken seriously, or at least show and prove that it's not a matter of insanity or some type of mental issue, more so than it is, this is the way I do things because this has just made the most sense to me and it's worked the best for me.
And look, we could double down on that when you pay attention to somebody like a Warren Buffett or a Bill Gates. Mm-hmm. The whole time they're talking, they're throwing jokes at each other, laughing. Like that's what they mean. Remain childlike, mm-hmm. Right? I handle business. I get structures and things right, but
versus you being a stickler and being like, all right, let's stick to the questions here.
You feel me? Nobody likes you, number one, mm-hmm. And then you don't even like yourself. Eventually, it's like, bro, it's not me. Like no human is just, bro, I don't want to talk to nobody. You feel me? So when you be yourself, it just allows you to let your guard down. Most of these people, they got their guard up the whole time. Mm-hmm. I usually sit with my chest out, T. Bro, just relax. It's just me and you understand. You feel me? Just all those things that kind of
extreme forms of conformity.
And it stunts your growth. Stunt your growth, bro. Be yourself. Be free, bro. The freest person is always going to be the most creative person. Mm-hmm. You feel me? The minute that you say, yo, I'm going to do what I feel like is right. As long as I'm not harming anybody, I'm going to do what I feel like is right. Mm-hmm. That's the ultimate freedom. That's what everybody asks for, because I was listening to the brother Bob Proctor. He was like, bro, I've asked a lot of billionaires. I've been around billionaires and millionaires. Mm-hmm. None of them want to be a billionaire or millionaire. They just want enough money to be able to do what the hell they want to do. Mm-hmm. They end up on billions and millions of dollars because maybe they want to do something more lucrative.
It's serving you now versus you serving it.
Explain that for the folks. What you mean?
So, like, if your thing is to become a millionaire, you're going to serve that path. You're going to continuously try to do whatever it takes to be a millionaire. Whereas if your thing and your intent is to be free and be able to financially be free and move how you want to, it's not about, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a whatever. It's about freedom. So, like, that's what you're serving, is freedom. If I can get freedom, then I'm good. But a lot of people, they get lost in that facade of someone else's life, that they're like, oh, well, freedom obviously comes with this. And it's like, no, because your intent is different. So the path is completely different.
So what happens is, once you get that whatever, or once it get too hard to get that whatever, you quit.
Yeah. because the dream is,
it's just to get.
It's not your dream. It's what you've seen.
And the only reason why you chose it as seen it is because that has the greatest income value. Mm-hmm. That's what everybody
ultimately, if that's what it is, bro, you'll get the income, but everything else that you wanted to go with it doesn't. What was that John we was watching? The lady pretty much tried to manifest herself to another place and expected the machine to go with her. It's like, no, go wherever you go. Like, it's all about intent, bro. Intentions, bro. What is your intent? If your intent is to get money, you will get exactly that, and that's all. If your intent is to be happy, then the ether can kind of start working with you on what is happiness to you. Is it solely money? Well, here you go. Is it having that family and that balance of being able to financially be free? Well, here you go. But again, it has to be intent. You have to be very specific. In college, they taught you about the SMART objectives. And it gives you a whole breakdown. I can't really remember the acronyms right now, but you have to set a goal. And within that goal, there has to be particulars. You can't just be like, I want to be a millionaire. You have to have a time frame. You got to be as realistic as possible with this goal that you're trying to achieve. And yeah, go check that out. SMART objectives.
As realistic as possible, right? For what you're trying to attain. Mm-hmm. You could always have dreams, right? Don't dream small, right? Dreams should be one of the biggest things. Mm-hmm. Objectives, you can have those a little smaller, because those are building blocks to dreams. If you don't win no objective, it's just like, I don't know if nobody played video games, but I played video games growing up. There's a game called Time Crisis. That's a fly ass game. I got to replay that game, but it's a game called Time Crisis, and the whole shit is you have to get past checkpoints to get time added to your balance or whatever. So, you start off, you got whatever a certain amount of minutes. You go through the process. If you kill, blah, 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 you get to the checkpoint. It ain't about killing them. It's really about getting to the checkpoint, but you have to kill them to get to the checkpoint. So you got to do the mission. So anyway, long story short, you have to continuously complete objectives. Every time you complete an objective, checkpoint. And then it's a certain amount of checkpoints. And then now round one is done. Like you just won round one. Round two, start off again. Objective. You go through 4, you go through 10 objectives, 12 objectives. You have to go through all the objectives to complete the rounds, right? So that's why we always stress getting small wins. Just small wins, bro. You trying to start something, just get a small win. And what would a small win be? Say, yo, I want a job. Small win for me, I woke up the next day and I filled out a bunch of applications. Those are objectives, right? I say, all right, well, boom. I had to fill out five applications tomorrow, right? Blah. I did that. I want to do this, and I want to go on this much interviews, because that's what it is. It's different missions that you got to accomplish with your objectives. You got to go on 3 interviews, right? 3 interviews. You got to do send out 10 or 15 job requests or whatever the hell y'all call them shits out here to get jobs. Them people, the just over broke situation. Both of those, all those situations, bro, is objective based. If everybody just complete objectives, the mission get completed. Our problem is we get stuck in this. I don't know if it's instant gratification or because I've heard this narrative before and it's kind of in the scriptures, but you know me how I do the scriptures. But anyways, it was saying to the extent that people will go out their way to do so many things, right? Except for what is required of them to do. What do I mean by that? Just watch this.
Zaytigee, hey. Listen, hey. Can't trust your niggas in your own hood. Nah. The streets on fire, niggas lying, but it's all good. Gotta keep the ratchet, hit them with the ratchet. They don't know what happened, but they know what happened. Bet they stop the yapping, if we get the clapping. See, I done lost a fraction, but see, war's a passion. Niggas won't smoke, but I'm steady ashing. Cigarettes and blunts, hit it twice then pass it. See, I'm low, I'm loco. See, I'm loco. She loco, she gon' get the zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo. I'm loco, she loco, she gon' take the zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo. I'm loco, she loco, she gon' take the zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo. I'm loco, she gon' take the zozo. We loco, that take a picture, take a photo. He ain't acting right, I'ma hit him with that Zoclo. Free loco that take a picture, take a photo. Hey, me hanging with a pussy nigga, that's a no-no. I might fuck his bitch and keep it on the low. Hey, Zaytigee, you almost there, keep it on go-mo. Fuck that black and mild, let me hit that fucking dodo. That 93, that shit'll make your brain blow. I got that comeback boomerang, call it yo-yo. You only live one, nigga, call it yo-yo. I'm drinking Casey, where the fuck is that nigga Jojo? See, I'm loco. I'm loco. See, I'm loco. She loco, she gon' get the Zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo. I'm loco, she gon' take the Zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo. I'm loco, she gon' take the Zozo. See, I'm loco. Take a picture, take a photo.
Man, shout out to them brothers, man. How's it going? I'm definitely gonna want this right here, the jam next. But man, that was that Zaytigee and Ball Jizzle that I just ran. That Loko. Niggas going hard, but shout out to them brothers, man. Keep y'all foot on these motherfuckers' neck. Break it off. I don't know if y'all want to put y'all foot on people's neck, but
metaphorically, of course.
her neck just seemed like a good spot to hold her feet. All right, based on the curves in the neck and the little bones, it's just like you just put her feet right on the neck.
No, that sounds heinous.
So you ready for me? Because I was supposed to pull up something and I
Yep.
totally lost track of my goddamn phone.
Tonight, we begin with the wake-up call from the United Nations on what they call the unequivocal impact humans are having on our planet. Their once-in-a-decade climate report is out today, and with it comes a warning about what could happen if humans do not aggressively change.
We're not getting another one until 2030, y'all.
Yet into climate change, and there's no sugarcoating it.
Should
The UN
be.
report says at this point, we are not able to stop global warming for at least 30 years. Essentially, a hotter future is already locked in. A future where extreme weather events like devastating fires, historic flooding, and extreme heat are all more common. The report's authors are essentially sending the world's leaders a final wake-up call: curb emissions and dramatically reduce consumption, or face a world that is fundamentally different. Around the world, fire crews are battling fires tonight on a nearly unprecedented scale. If seeing is believing, many are getting a firsthand look at a worst case scenario for the future. But the report concludes there is still time to change. Our Maggie Ruley reports from Greece.
Code Red for humanity. A dire warning tonight from the United Nations about our planet's future. Scenes more reminiscent of horror movies now playing out right before our eyes.
Very problem. My island is on fire.
This is Greece in 2021. Turkey, California, China, Germany. A brand new once-in-a-decade report from the UN is incredibly clear. We are altering our planet. Report detailing climate change, making extreme weather worse in every region of the globe. Hotter heat waves, heavier rain, more extreme droughts, raging infernos.
You can hear the crackle of these flames. The fires are just ripping through the underbrush here. Look at that. We see it climbing up that tree. It is going all the way up the hillside. We have seen dozens of these hot spots popping up along the road. This is what firefighters are struggling to keep up with.
Here in Greece, the fires turn the sky a bloodshot, ominous red, forcing residents out of the Greek island of Evia, making conditions all the more difficult for the crews desperately trying to help them to safety. The Greek wild.
So right, this is not a sorrow for sorrow thing, right? But I just try to always tell people, bro, don't look at your country and say your country going through hell and your people deserve something, bro. Everywhere around this planet, the planet is getting heated up. Black people, you will survive. That's all I'm telling y'all, bro. That's all I got to really say when I see these cold reds and these orange skies and these pinks. Oh, shout out to y'all. Right? Because if we read the scriptures said the sun going to be, I think, 100 times hotter. Some crazy numbers. Crazy number time hotter, bro. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be hot out here. So them telling me about global warming and just go back to the Bible, bro. This is end times, revelations, bro. If I'm gonna believe it, I just might as well believe that. These niggas do a report every decade. Once a decade report ass motherfuckers. We can't stop this for 30. Oh, all right, bro. I see y'all ain't got no hope. Right? But they understand they shouldn't have no hope. Why not? Because this is the Most High.
You get what you deserve.
This is the Most High. So I don't want us to keep on saying, yo, Haiti getting hit, double, Jamaica getting hit, demon. Anything y'all say is crazy. Everybody's getting hit. The earth is upset with the humans and the people. I don't want to say the humans, but some humans, right? The earth is upset with the persons. All these corpses. Dead.
Like,
corpse.
Is it even that far?
What you mean? Go in.
Can we just simply look at commercialism alone? Because that ain't got nothing to do with sad, angry feelings of any sort. These are what's actually happening, and all this can explain why everything is domino affecting the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
These people commercialize everything, waste as much as they can, and expect it to be sustainable.
Why do I just shout out to you? Because what you just did was you just broke it down simpler to them, right? I just told them the problem is some humans, because I don't think humans could do nothing to the planet, right? But persons, corpse, those are corporations, right? These are entities. These are the commercial bros that we're talking about. Nigga that go get an S corp and he commercially grows herbs. So he goes around and he grows 1,000 herb plant, 1 billion herb plants, and he said, yo, I got to start making some money off the herb plants. The herb plants too good. Nobody not, you feel me? People smoking less. You feel me? It's just so much more that come with making a good product. So I agree with you 100% on that, Empress. It's all about commercializing things. And you live in this capitalistic society where you say, yo, T, the best thing for me to do is, shout out to my brother Don Tripp. Don Tripp say, she gonna get high no matter what. I might as well be the man. Might as well hit the trap with a plan how to get in and feed and provide for my fam. It's a cold, cruel world. That's somebody's little girl, sister. Hey, the last thing he said, probably even mine. Ever since they let this cocaine in, we've been damned. I was born in 85 and they try to blame me, but you can't. Like, he was just saying, like, bro, this shit been here. Shit been here, bro. So it ain't it ain't the humans as much. We should stop taking part in it for sure. If we stop taking part in it, it wouldn't change anything drastically, but it at least show the universe that, yo, them people good, leave them alone. But when they're able to allow us to get into their system, like I told you, bro, the biblical text say, yo, don't mix fabric. Don't mix fabric. If you're wearing 100% cotton, wearing 100% cotton. If you're wearing 100% this, 100% that. Don't mix cotton, the Most High told you. I'm just saying, me and Empress was having a discussion the other day. And Empress brought it back up to me. Empress said, yo, red birds are red birds, blue birds are blue birds, pink birds are pink birds. I say, yo, I disagree with it in the sense that I feel like we shouldn't do separation. But in reality, right? In reality, it'd be super weird if we seen a pink flamingo out there and we seen like a blue jay pulling up on the flamingo every day. Hey, y'all, this my lady, what you mean? I'm dropping to me, ready, my lady, bro. She tired of y'all pink boys out here. Too much pink boys. I don't know. I'm just telling you, like, not the things that we do as humans, and I guess because we have dominion over things, right? So the Most High blessed us with something super important where he gave us these senses, right? He gave us this plasma body. He gave us these conductive photovoltaic bodies where it's like the sun is almost your source of energy. Your sun is your energy boy. Your sun is your information boy, right? They show you Superman and Superman get punched all the way to the sun. Pow! I'm talking about bro beating Superman ass, whooping Superman, pow, killing Superman. Superman about to die. I'm talking about Superman on the ground, nigga dragging him. Then this dude make a mistake and he get him and he just throw him, throw him in the sky real far. Superman floats out into space. You know how they got the fake space, so he just floats out. He just floating. He floating, and he floats right into the big ass sunball. And when he get into that sunball, he come back out like you never seen him before. He actually comes out dark. I guess he's tanned, right? I guess Superman going there get him that tan, and come back out like a tan brother. So he go in there and come back out like a tan brother. What's the significance of me saying that? Because I'm telling you that your source of energy is the sun. Right, they show us Superman. Superman always been the American hero. His source of energy is the sun. I think a lot of us lose the concepts of, you feel me, what we were taught as kids or what we may have seen. That's why Kobe said it, and that's why I started the clip off, right? Remain childlike. Remain a child. Right, remain a child. Forever live a child life. Science is good. Authoritative science is bad. Science in itself is a constant growing field. Ever-changing field. Science is life. The authority, the way they run it, right? The way the brothers just say, this is our knowledge, and this is what we say is the true facts. Even though that brother approve it. They say, nah, we don't care if you prove that. That ain't what we're rocking with. Let's even give them the benefit of the doubt. Nobody proved it. Both parties are wrong. They're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the person that's on their side, even if the other person have more information, even though he can show more documentation of what they're saying. Right? It's the same thing with the ball earth, where you'll come in and you say, well, I could kind of take away some of the points over here. And if I could take away some of the points over here, I technically prove some points over here, but I'm not really arguing the points over here as of yet. Right, I just want to knock this point down. And once we knock this point down, then we get back on this playing field and you say, yo, you were wrong, bro. And since he debunked you, he gets the belt. That's what happens. In the championship fight, you don't say, bro, you beat the champion. Champion still get the belt. We got a new champion. He gets the belt. Maybe he might really be that good and he was the new changeover. Authority is the problem with everything that we got going on. Capitalism is crony capitalism, they call it. Authority, where somebody say, yo, I understand we're making money, but they can make the most money though. So for the most part, it works, right? For the most part, the system works. Once authority gets involved and they try to decide how we can make our money or how we can decide how things flow, or you feel me? Or they say, yo, you rich, you done worked too hard, you done made so much, you got to pay this and that. That's all authority, right? That's not capitalism, right? Capitalism should be everybody should be able to capitalize. And once we get that system down, then we get the system of unity. Listen to me again. Once we get the system down of real capitalism, we get the system of unity back. Why am I saying that? Real capitalism, bro, is literally everybody having the ability to capitalize off the opportunities that's here. I couldn't see nothing better than a nigga being able to capitalize off something, right? What makes it bad is that there's people at the top continuously deciding who's able to capitalize and who's able to not. That kind of leads me to sound like I'm saying, yo, we can't reach nowhere. They bringing us down. But I'm not saying that exactly, right? What I'm saying is it's capitalism with an underbelly of socialism with like a weird top belly of goddamn dictatorship. Like a weird, you feel me? Totalitarianism. Empress shouted out, right? This is the concept. So even though it appears that this is like it's the same thing with democracy. So yo, bro, this is a democratic society. And you say, well, right here it says a republic. I don't know if it's democratic or republic. I don't even know if you can be a democratic republic, right? But a lot of the things that we thought we knew that they told us seem to be odd. So that's all I was saying. Like when we start questioning these mechanisms, we don't question the whole system, right? They always say don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. So you don't come and say, yo, America is this terrible place. America, I'm telling you right now, right? Because later on in this video, we're gonna play a couple clips from situations that's going on around the world. It's really nowhere safer than this, right? It's nowhere safer than this. Like in other countries, the instability is always there. If America is not over there defending those countries, at any moment somebody could take over it. So it's okay for that too, also, right? Because that's capitalism to me. Everybody's able to capitalize. But the way America figured out the way to run this system have been seen to be the most fit one, if we can get the right objective of it. If we could stop having people at the top decide to say, yo, I know you capitalizing, but because you move like this, I'm going to punish you. That's not capitalism, bro. That's robbery. If somebody moved a good way, bro, and they get more, bro. They worked harder, bro. Right, I don't think we should live in a society where we have the 1% so separated. Like the whole fact that the whole middle class is gone. That's all because of crony capitalism, right? That's where they continuously say, nah, it's a capitalist society. So you go work, you go make your money, and then when it's
everybody
time,
has an opportunity.
They say everybody got an opportunity until it's time to reap your benefits, and they say, yeah, you do got the same opportunity, but you didn't know about this rule. Right, and then they start putting new rules in there because they tell you about legalese, and legalese is a whole different. You feel me? So all these concepts, you start to wonder, okay, so what's going on? Like, is this really capitalism? Like, because if it's capitalism, just leave me be, bro.
Or am I being bamboozled?
You feel me? Let's go smaller government. Let's take these people out of our pocket, bro, and let's build the country at the same way the country was being built before. And the reason why I'm rocking with the way we was able to set this country up is because when you look around the world, you say, they don't got it figured out. They don't got it figured out at all. At any moment, it's something going on that's absurd. Like I said, some people got a nice small niche of people, but I'm saying to have this big society, bro, being ran the way America is being ran, bro, I really can't find another society this big, bro, that I can say them boys handling it the same way we handle it type shit. Because this amount of people leads to a lot of uprising.
Oh yeah, small batches are key.
You feel me? This amount of people just leads to uprising. And then we got so much different cultures here. So it's always gonna be something, but the way that they was able to set it up, it works out weird where it's like, hey, if you get it, I get it. You ain't hurting me, I ain't hurting you. Oh, you in the business of making t-shirts? Well, people looking for more t-shirts. You can't make that much t-shirts. Matter of fact, you don't even got the style of t-shirts that my people like.
And it's under the guise of disinformation.
Don't say that word. That might be a new buzzword. Because
anything free of restricted thoughts is disinformation. You're spewing the wrong information. You need to stop immediately. I can't let you go any further on my airways with this message.
Okay, so
and they hide it under the guise of, oh, a guy went live on Facebook and shot up a synagogue. We have to protect people. A young man didn't go live at all and just shot a whole bunch of black people in the church and got Burger King. What's the difference? I missed it. Why is this one getting so much attention? But that's what they use. They inject these social media protocols and they become the solution for the protocols.
Man. Hey, well, it was one cast where we spoke on that exact term that Empras is speaking on. It's the Hegelian dialectic, where they create the problem and they're also the saviors. So they're the devil and Christ in one breath.
That's why, oh, you got mental health? Get a therapist. Oh, you got the COVID? Get a vaccine. There's no preventative measures. There's no holistic measures being put in place. Nothing normal to you. Everything is abnormal.
The brother Cambada said the devil is just God in a ski mask. That's what we explaining to y'all exactly right now. So that bar just seems so fitting. Cause we're telling y'all that, bro, it's a nigga playing both sides of the fence.
Who playing for you?
You feel me? Who? Yeah, run that video.
Fires have been raging for more than a week. Neighboring Turkey finally got most of their fires under control after nearly 2 weeks, killing at least 8. And it's all across our globe. Extreme weather of seemingly biblical proportions, now a painful new normal.
Firefighters had been working in this area just a few days ago, but they've already moved on to other areas now. You can see, obviously, the fire is starting again here.
There are at least 93 active wildfires burning in Siberia, over 2.8 million acres destroyed, some villages in the region evacuated. In America's West, record heat, drought, and strong winds feeding blazes like the Dixie Fire up in Northern California, now the largest singular fire in the state's history.
It's a leveled ghost town out here. The surrounding areas still threatened. The air difficult to breathe because of the multiple hazards. Officials say it could be weeks before families are allowed to return.
The 8 largest fires in California have all occurred in the past 4 years. Unprecedented 116-degree heat in the Pacific Northwest and all-time record highs in Canada, causing hundreds of deaths earlier this summer. And if it's not record heat and fires, it's flooding. Yet again, Venice's iconic St. Mark's Square covered in water far earlier in the year than normal. These horrifying scenes from China, commuters trapped in chest-deep water in train cars, streets transformed into rivers after record rainfall in the center of the country.
How high was the water up to here?
I was in Germany just 3 weeks ago, the site of devastating floods after a once-in-1,000-year rainstorm killed at least 160 people.
There's so many people dead. You don't expect people to die in a flood in Germany.
Buildings in this medieval town, around since before the 15th century, were once thought to be able to stand the test of time, now potentially destroyed by one flood.
From floods that wipe out entire towns to fires that leave forests and homes burned, covered in ash, still smoldering. These extreme, once-in-a-lifetime, unprecedented events are now becoming common, and scientists all point to one thing: climate change.
It is indisputable that human activities are causing climate change and making extreme weather events more frequent and severe. Second, it shows that climate change is affecting every region on our planet.
The UN's report confirming in the strongest language ever that the world is warming at a rate unprecedented in the last 2,000 years. And the report says we, humans, are to blame. Our actions have us at the breaking point, even if we meet the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
The number 1.5 degrees Celsius, there was this, ideally from the Paris Agreement, we would try to keep warming below that level. That looks like a pretty big challenge at this point.
Some impacts of climate change are now irreversible. Our behavior has altered our oceans, changed our planet's glaciers. In Greenland, the amount of ice that melted in the space of one day in July could cover the entire state of Florida in 2 inches of water. And no matter what we do, the ice melt is going to continue and get worse.
Changes in ice sheets, deep ocean temperature, and acidification will continue for centuries to thousands of years, meaning that they are irreversible in our lifetime and will continue for generations to come.
The report concluding sea level rise may be one of the single biggest problems for the rest of the 21st century.
Even if you suddenly stop the increase in warming, you're going to still see melting for decades to come.
What's different about this report? Well, just how confident scientists are about the conclusions.
So this report was produced by over 200 scientists from 65 countries. They worked for 3 years together to assess huge amounts of scientific information, over 14,000 studies and research papers.
Data from the past 8 years has the scientific community more confident than ever before that humans are the cause of what's happening to our planet. But it doesn't have to be this way. While more warming is expected in the coming decades, it's not too late to change trends if humanity changes behaviors now.
We can't undo the mistakes of the past. This generation can make the systemic changes that will stop the planet warming, help everyone adapt to the new conditions, and create a world of peace, prosperity, and equity. Climate change is here now, but we are also here now. And if we don't act, who will?
A call to action tonight from the United Nations. Maggie Rulli joins us now from Greece. And Maggie, as we saw in your piece, you've been in 2 disaster zones just in the past few weeks there in Greece, and of course the flooding in Germany. These extreme weather events taking such an emotional toll on these communities. How are people that you're talking to responding to it all?
Yeah, Lindsay, emotional is the perfect word to describe it. No matter where we are, we always hear the same thing. People tell us they're exhausted, they're angry, and they're scared. Here in Greece, people are tired. They're exhausted. The fires here on this island alone have been going on for more than 7 days. We're talking about these extreme, once-in-a-lifetime events that, Lindsay, now seem to be happening at least once a summer, and they're lasting for longer than ever. I mean, you talk about just the toll that takes on someone, because all of this is so personal. And we heard from that one young man who said, my island is on fire. These fires are burning through people's homes. These ferries and boats behind me, they are all on standby, waiting if someone needs to be evacuated from their home tonight. That takes a toll. We were in Germany. I'll never forget standing in front of this makeshift garbage pile. It was the size of a football field, 2 stories high, and it was filled with people.
And that's the thing too, because it was yesterday or so. I think me and Empras was watching the Seaspiracy little documentary situation, and I remember a little while back being in the clubhouse room with this brother when the documentary first came out, and He did a one before this. I can't think of it, but like he does these same type. Like hey, he has Seaspiracy. The other one was like something spiracy. So I can't think of it exactly right now, but so we was watching that and we was seeing all the situations going on and we was hearing the same narrative. Right, we know that Biden joined the Paris Agreement little situation. Okay, I told everybody that under Biden, things like Tesla and companies like that, green companies, right, are gonna boom. Elon came out and spoke against Bitcoin a little bit because it's the green initiative. So now I guess Bitcoin is getting greener. Everybody has to get green to be on this planet. So I'm just trying to figure out, is that a propaganda? But it's not a propaganda in reality. Like, because I know this is true, right? Because we're eating too much of the wildlife. We're cutting down too much of the wildlife. Is this, we don't have nothing to protect nothing from nothing.
Just greed, more greed.
You feel me? So even if we don't even get super deep with the global warming, because we may say, it's kind of weird, whatever y'all believe. We do believe, right, in over commercialization of this motherfucking shit right here. This whole
under the guise of the fight against poverty and hunger.
The brother Dr. Inky was saying, goddamn, basically like 2012 or some shit, 2013. Everything must change. The designs for the table, the designs for your chair, the material they use in your chairs.
Standing desk.
Think about, they're doing it slowly. They're starting to now make herbal cigarettes. It's just, it don't stop. Herbal cigarettes, vegan this, vegan that. Yo, you want hemp covered chair, right? They're doing it on a small scale right now because what it's supposed to do is phase all the bad materials out. We started off with everything not BPA free, not everything BPA free, even bullshit BPA free.
Let's just think though for like a second. So like say you're trying to run a country, right? And you're trying to run a country and you're politely letting the people know like, hey man, we gotta do better with the climate stuff, man. Y'all gotta try to ride a bike to the store. Try not to use that AC as much. You should try this vegan meat. You don't want to eat a couple more vegetables? All this stuff, right? So they're politely asking you, requesting that you kind of change your ways and habits. We realize a lot of these things are destructive. They're not sustainable. And you get a 85% majority that are just refusing to make the change or any effort towards that. Like, how do you deal with that 85% population?
I don't know why 85% people refuse to do something.
So you're saying you don't understand the psychology, so you don't even know how to solve the problem.
I'm saying if 85% of people say I'm doing some stupid shit, I think I might be doing some stupid shit. You gotta get to a certain percent that you're like, yo, am I doing it right?
No, they're lazy first and foremost. They insist they don't have enough money. It's just a lot of excuses on why it can't get done.
No, I just feel like in America, bro, people was lied to too much.
So now it's just a mistrust.
Yes.
Everything skepticism.
Hands in the air, right? We can't do nothing, right? People believed in voting at one
So
point.
if they show you the facts behind like the consumption of meat, show you the effects that it has on the environment, they show you the effects it has on you. They show you the different diseases that come with it, and 85% just refuse to stop consuming it.
Nah, a lot of people change their diet. You
I'm saying, but if they don't, if you have 85% of the population that refuses to participate in the switching over of a more plant-based diet.
Like I said, bro, that'll be a society that the government created. If 85% of the people saying that, bro.
And you just said, hands up, don't shoot.
If 85% of the people saying they're not going to change, I don't really get the narrative.
Give up?
No, I don't get the narrative. Like that's on the government. It's nothing about giving up. The government did that.
Yeah, and you're the government. So how do you fix that?
There's no fixing it, bro. You fucked up. You did some stupid shit and you lied to people for 30 plus years. Like,
So
I
now
don't
you
get
just
it.
lay in the bed that you made.
I'm saying, bro, there's people like a white dude like Joe Rogan, right? He was a meat eater, breast nigga. Once he watched the slaughtering documentary, he was like, yo, either I'm gonna become a hunter or I'm gonna stop eating meat. It's one of the two. People make those decisions every day, bro. If 85% of the people, bro, are that stupid, bro, if somebody could show them actual facts, then that's the government fault. I can't blame nobody, but that would never happen on a planet.
I understand that it's the government's fault. It's definitely the government's fault. So now you're saying the government should just put their hands up and not try to correct this problem or this issue that they caused.
Yeah, we need a whole government change. What are you saying? They can't fix no problem.
And what would that government change look like?
That's the same way every government change look like, nigga. Everybody that's in the regime is out the regime, nigga, and all the old plans that we have with the regime is done with the regime. Like,
So
people
you're
do that all
saying
the time.
a whole new group of one collective understanding of, all right, we need to get this done, needs to take over.
Taiwan is still being called Chinese Taipei. Yeah, bro, if you don't agree with the government, bro, you just separate your state, become an independent state. Like, I couldn't imagine 85% of the people but trying to be stupid.
Okay.
But what happens is the government lies to people every fucking day. Every day they lie to people, and people say, yo, I'm tired of y'all. I'm going out my way and my way only. Right? So I don't know, but like I said, I don't agree with either side. But if you're telling me 85% of the people doing some shit, I'm like, yo, this is a problem that's beyond us. We got to get Most High involved damn near. Because why is 85% of the people so wrong, right? I understand, right, the masses.
So your whole thing is, get you and your homeboys or whatever your camp is, get them on the same board and move accordingly, and everything else too shall pass.
Get out of
the
here.
Intent. It goes back to intention. If your intent is to help with sustaining the earth and sustaining yourself, I think you will get what you deserve and what you sowed. But if your intent is to no longer listen to the government because they've lied to you and you're not going to reason for yourself on why you should make the switch or why you shouldn't make the switch, you're just like, no, they've lied, and write it off as that. I think the intent is lazy now. My intent is to give up and quit. And once you quit, you have failed.
Like I said, bro, the main thing I'm thinking about, Empress, is that people could just simply say, yo, I'm going to eat meat, but I'm tired of the commercialization of it. If I'm eating meat, I'm just going to catch me some meat. If I can't catch me nothing. If I can't kill nothing, hunt nothing, I ain't no meat this week. Right? You go hunt you an elk or some bullshit and you pack it out and then you got meat for a year.
Right.
You don't buy no meat. You don't go hunt no more elks. You feel me? It's more sufficient ways to live life, bro. It's too much fried chicken everywhere. Everybody frying chicken. Right? We can go down one street, nigga, and it's 30 niggas frying chicken. Everybody got chicken. Fuck is the chicken's coming from? You feel me? We're just overdoing things, bro. We're just overdoing things even with the fishes. It started out somebody going out there casting his net.
So, like, are you saying, like, one of the things that should come back in is the delicacy almost of things? Because that's what it looks like we're going to. They've entered this segue to pretty much cut the meat production in half under the guise of COVID. And now it's a matter of you're going to have to pay a ticket in order to get this. We're not giving it to you at a commercial price anymore because we're not doing commercial. We're going back to small batches. So if you have the money to afford this, non-sustainable activity, we'll avail it to you, but we're not going to give it to the masses.
They're going to... Yeah.
Not saying that the masses are uninvited to it, but the masses will likely not be able to afford it.
Yeah, I understand. But what happens is inflation kind of find a way to null and void that. But it doesn't. It doesn't. But it does in reality. But
because right now the prices of meats are bothering people, you would argue.
Price of everything up crazy from the last year.
And it's obviously due to a shortage of some sort, but are like these factories that are producing these things, are they coming from the mindset of smaller batches now? Because I even heard people, doing less ounces of whatever they had before. Like they're changing packaging and making packaging smaller and keeping the price the same.
That's hustles. That's
Okay.
hustling. Yeah, that's just trying to make more money off the pop. They do that shit all the time. They stupid. Anything that we drink, nigga, anything that we eat, once we start liking it, the next year is gonna go down a 0.14 or some little small shit. But what you just brought up though, because that kind of triggered me before I went off and talked about the 0.
I was just thinking about the aspect of the prices being altered because of the small batch situation, or prices being altered because of hustles. I guess that they're trying to make.
Off rip, it's the commercial bros aren't changing their mass production of things. So, like, what I'm saying is, these niggas that's going out to fish, they still mass fishing, right? The thing is, the price is raised, but they still doing the same shit. They just got to raise the price to pay their ass. The same thing with colleges. Colleges still charging that same ticket. You just get less for the ticket, right? Because that's what happens when they scale back. You get scaled back, not them. They stay the same way, nigga. Every day they go out there, they commercial fishing and everybody. They picking up everything in the ocean. And now they just making more off the batch. That's all it is. It's a grind time. A lot of people don't want to work right now. You come out here and work. Come out here and grab these fishes. You feel me? So they're not changing to a small batch per se, right? Some of them are doing small batch because restaurants aren't booming as much. So they're making plays everywhere else. It's like, yo, I can make play here, I can make play here. But their production level is still that same production level because people still asking for things. So you don't want to be short. And that's what they were saying. The demand for things is high. So, we're in a strange time. Even with used cars and things, the demand for that is high as up. They said housing, John, was crazy, but a couple months, or not a couple months, like I think a month ago or like a couple weeks ago, I seen that it was going down with a crash or something they said. But I remember when I listened to the video, I remember him conveying the idea. He was like, and he kind of explained it away. I was like, nah, y'all don't know what y'all looking at.
As far as what, the used?
Nah, the used car, them just doing bad. The houses, because it would seem like the housing prices was coming down. And he was saying,
yeah, he definitely wrote it off.
Yeah, you can't remember. And
he was writing it off. I want to say it was something about further development as far as like construction still being done and some of that nature, but I can't really recall why he wrote it off as not being something to worry about.
Yeah, it was definitely something. We'll pull the video up.
Yeah, you said something else to trigger the thought, but I really cannot freaking get it right now.
I hate that.
Where are we going after?
This Siberian brand, then yeah. After the Siberian brand. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay on a disaster. So after the Siberian,
don't keep far down.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
Cause yeah, man, the earth is upset with everything, bro. So I don't want nobody to feel like they're in a devilish position. Don't think that your ancestors or your people did anything to deserve this, right? But what we did do, we're living around the people that do deserve it. You feel me? So by proximity, somebody got to get touched. You feel me? What they call it, casualties of war. All right, don't be a casualty of war, bro. But yeah, whenever we're ready, I'm ready. Because I really want y'all, because I was saying the California fires, it's a big thing. One of the most recent ones was started by a baby shower. Over there in Siberia.
Not even.
Where?
Gender reveal. Which is way less.
Even. Way less
worth
important.
it. Way less resources being handed out. Just a whole bunch of video cameras.
No, so you muted yourself.
Sorry.
No, you.
When you think of Siberia, you likely don't think about wildfires. After all, Siberia is one of the coldest places on the planet during the winter time. But in summer, temperatures can be rather moderate. But our changing world has made their summers increasingly hotter. And now officials in the region are battling an unprecedented crisis that has implications for all of us. ABC's Patrick Reevell traveled to Siberia to see the fight against the wildfires firsthand.
What can be one of the coldest places on Earth is on fire. Gigantic infernos burning across Siberia on an unprecedented scale, a climate catastrophe. The wildfires burning in Russia now are bigger than all the fires raging across the globe combined, bigger than those in the US, Canada, Turkey and Greece put together. This the view as passengers fly into Yakutia, a region 3,000 miles from Moscow. But in Siberia, before you can fight wildfires, first you have to get to them.
So we're driving out now, hopefully to try and reach one of the fire teams that are working near the village. We've got to drive over this dirt road. You see, it's not really a road.
We are in the Taiga, and it's not easy going.
So the bumper has just been torn off the car on this track. The car that went before us got completely stuck. So hopefully that isn't going to happen to us. Traveling in Siberia, you know.
Swarms of insects mean we need these protective suits.
Made it through that one. It's about 6 kilometers more to go.
We have come to Yakutia because it's one of the front lines of climate change. Much of the region is in the Arctic, and in winter it's one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth. But summers are warm, and this year is seeing an extreme heat wave and historic drought. One of the hottest, driest summers on record. 10 times more fires are burning than usual. Smoke from them has reached Alaska, and for the first time in history, the North Pole.
So this is where we were trying to get to, a camp where the guys are basically going out and trying to fight the fires. Say they don't have enough equipment, they have a tractor over there that's broken down because it doesn't have enough oil.
This group from Russia's forestry fire service, known as Aviales Akhrana, have been here for nearly a month. It is a vastly unequal fight. They say they are short of men and equipment. Afanasi is one of hundreds of local residents who volunteered to fight the fires because of the shortage of manpower.
He's saying if the wind gets up, that will already start to spread all over the trees here. Within 10-15 minutes, it could be everywhere, really.
Я не припоминаю, вот 40 лет живу, не припоминаю, чтобы такой был пожар большой.
The team's main tools are digging trenches and controlled burns like this.
Так мы можем. Загоняем обратно кракена в клетку.
But there is only so much they can do.
То есть вон, солнца не видно.
Да.
Много очень. Не успеваем, народу немного, а площади большие.
When the wind gets up, the fire spreads rapidly. Here, another group forced to retreat. And this is what happens when the fires get past the teams. The flames engulfing this village. Over 30 buildings destroyed. Only burnt-out cars and smouldering rubble left. The record drought fueling the fires has been linked by scientists to climate change. And the change in Yakutia's climate is already visible. Parts of Siberia are warming twice as fast as the rest of the world.
The smog's really bad this morning. You can really feel it in your eyes and in your throat.
People have spent nearly a month struggling in the dirty air.
Уже утро, днем не выходим, утром только, днем как сказать, в доме сидим вообще. Дышать трудно. Много дождей было раньше.
И сейчас?
А сейчас вообще дождей нету. В этом году вообще нету.
All this smoke is a problem far beyond Russia. The fires are releasing record quantities of carbon dioxide. This year, already more than Britain's entire annual CO2 emissions, based on an estimate by a European Union agency.
You really feel the scale of the fire here. This whole area burned only about 3 weeks ago. You see, just as far as you can look, it's all blackened and burned.
With increased temperatures now believed to be inevitable, Yakutia's massive fires are likely to only get worse. Scientists say another sign of how fast and how drastically the planet's climate is changing. Patrick Revel, ABC News, Yakutia, Russia.
This Stephanopoulos, bro, whatever your name is, white dude, you was the one that was outside lying. You was on some Cuomo-ish too. You was outside playing around, walking around with your dog. But netaru. Right, these are the terms we used to use in our comedic ways, right? Netter is nature. That those are what we call our liberties. So like that's kind of a weird name, but Asar, Aset, these people call those people netters. Net. Oh, something happened to you funny. Don't worry about it because success is a thing.
You want that King Gifted?
Yeah, if you want to run it right now, we can run it and then jump into the rest of this.
Wow, that's malicious.
What happened?
It made me click on something else.
They don't want you to be successful, bro. They trying to hate on you, but they can't stop it.
Babe, can you get ready to take me off the screen immediately?
Oh, you on the screen?
No, not yet. Thank you. Wait, so you can hear my audio?
No. Oh, then I gotta leave you on the screen. So, all right, put yourself on the screen.
It's a lot of sensitive information, bro.
Put yourself on the screen.
Prop that up. Damn.
So I keep applying different bucks, big bro. Yes, sir. Money sitting on the dresser. Take a nigga bitch and give a beat. Ask about to get some beat. Ain't no shit on the bitch, bet you get the gold catcher. Bubbling in my city like the motherfucking shelter. Fat came in, not a fat going out. The money came in, they say get.
I don't know what's going on with our speakers over here, man. That was just a little Breeze Bravo exclusive, man. Shout out that brother working. To know y'all got some stuff in stores, man. And I'm thankful for everybody that's supporting the channel, bro. You know, man, just making us feel special, bro. It's love, bro. Most people, they get in their own way, but I got stuff in history set up for you right now. All right, so we just about to knock off these Talibans, and then we just about to lighten up the mood and get out of here. Definitely. No. First, bro. First. Yes, ma'am. That's Empress right there to the right of me. My right hand partner.
Boy. Your right hand partner. That don't even sound good. You got other titles?
You got a funny nose too. You asked me about titles for bro. Let me.
Man, what's wrong with this man,
It's the main bro. I want to show these people about these Arabians, bro, because y'all know I spoke about them the other night.
You ready?
These the Taliban. This is a new regime. So that's just how they giving it up. Empress, you remember what the name of that video? Don't worry about it right now. We'll tell them it. Tell them it later.
Remove me, brother. Afghanistan, Taliban, and Jalalabad.
Taliban. And boom. Okay, that's Taliban. Taliban, man.
Afghan?
Yeah, the next one.
Jalalabad. This one?
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
As Taliban leaders push for what they say is a peaceful transfer of power in Kabul. Hours earlier, Mr. Ghani delivered a televised message promising to take responsibility for the security of the people of Kabul.
There is a clear need that the National Directorate of Security, alongside the police and the Afghan army, take responsibility for the security of all citizens. I have asked the Defense Minister and the Interior Minister to convey that message. It is our responsibility, and God willing, we will carry that out in the best possible manner. Anyone who's disturbing the law and order or thinks of looting should be confronted with full force.
Well, Taliban fighters have been ordered to wait on the outskirts of the capital despite no threat of imminent attack. There are worries on the streets of Kabul about what the Taliban's return will mean for the people of Kabul. Foreign embassies are evacuating their staff with helicopters going between those buildings and the airport. US officials are now working from that airport terminal, while some EU staff have moved to a safer, quote, undisclosed location. Overshadowed by its brutal rule of the past, the Taliban is offering reassurances about the kind of government it will lead. It says women's rights will be respected, and those people who worked for the government will be offered an amnesty. Live now to Kabul, and our correspondent.
Yeah, the Taliban.
Women's rights will be respected.
I guess we'll hear him at some point saying for the greater good of the country, Rob.
Yeah, it's quite a shock. I mean, we've been expecting all day to see developments with regard to this transition of power. The story has been so far that he has been held up in the presidential palace, busy in negotiations with his own people and, of course, with the negotiating teams, including the Taliban in Doha, about an acceptable transition, which everybody, I think, by now accepts that would not necessarily involve him being involved. Certainly the Taliban wouldn't want to be a part of any new administration with Ashraf Ghani. But the shock has come that he has actually left the country altogether and in Tajikistan. So it begs question, is this transition agreement up to even, is there a transition agreement for negotiators in Doha to agree to consider? So it really adds to the uncertainty as we get into this Sunday evening here in Kabul. We know what, I can tell you what we do know. We know that most of the country is in the control of the Taliban right now. Kabul is surrounded, and the big question is who actually is in charge of Kabul itself. It has to be said that yes, it's very tense here. There is an uneasy tension, but things do remain, thankfully, relatively calm on the streets. The police and the army are on the streets. People are moving about this evening. But there are concerns. I mean, we've had in the taking of the provinces and the area around Kabul, again, more prisons being opened. This has been something that we've seen throughout the conflict in recent weeks. As the Taliban have advanced, a number of prisons have been breached and prisoners allowed out. There was a large prison near Bagram Air Base. This was the former base for US and NATO forces. That prison contained a number of ISIL prisoners. That prison was overtaken. The doors were opened. There's another prison. This is Polichaki. This is the prison that serves the Kabul region with many more criminals there, or people serving time. Again, the doors were open of that prison. So there is a certain amount of unease in the capital this evening. Nonetheless, the Taliban has insisted that its fighters stay on the outskirts. They do not go in. They have stressed they do not want to see bloodshed. There should be a peaceful transition of power. And as we've heard during the day from both the ministers of the Interior and also the defense minister for Afghanistan, they too have guaranteed that there will be security here in the capital.
And I guess the people of Afghanistan, as well as the outside world, Rob, and the region indeed, we need to know the makeup or the nature of this interim administration, government, or council. And I suppose that's the explanation behind a Taliban delegation reportedly coming back to Qatar, because if they behave like politicians, in their minds, that's clear, isn't it? In their minds, they maintain some semblance of credibility and accountability because they're kind of behaving like politicians. They're not behaving like warlords.
Yeah, they have to do that, I think, to get that acceptance, especially from the international community, because, of course, people, as soon as you mention Taliban, will be thinking about a Taliban of administration of the late 90s and through till 2000, 2001, which does fill many people with dread. You talk to people here in the streets of Kabul, certainly people who remember that time, they remember it with a definite sense of dread. Some very awful memories of that time. And despite assurances from the Taliban that there are guarantees now for women's rights, for the education of girls, and so on, there are still very deep concerns. In fact, when we were out in the streets earlier this Sunday and we started to get notification that the Taliban had in fact approached the outskirts of the city and that some fighters were being reported, some of it erroneously. There was some scam messages going around that there were Taliban fighters walking around inside the city, which wasn't the case. But it does give you a sense of the nervousness here about the name Taliban, that people were concerned, and that when you talk to people, there is that many people don't want to see a return of that, especially in cosmopolitan parts like Kabul. But there is an acceptance also from people that, given their gains in recent years, recent months, and now what's happened at the moment, that certainly they will be very part and parcel of a future administration. There is an acceptance. Until recently, people were talking about, yes, we have have to share power with the Taliban. That was until a couple of days ago. But given the predominance now and the dominance of the Taliban in the country, you have to ask yourself what kind of power sharing the Taliban is going to share power with whom. It does seem as though they have the upper hand in any negotiations that follow from here.
Rob, you'll keep us posted, I'm sure. In the meantime, thank you so much. Rob McBride, our correspondent there, reporting on that developing aspect out of Kabul. Well, as we've been telling you, the US has been relocating its embassy staff as the Taliban encircled the city. The Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, says core staff will be moved to a safer location.
We're moving people out of the embassy to a location at the airport. That's happening right now. My job, my number one priority, is the safety and security of our people. And we've adjusted along the way. As I said, we started an ordered departure from our embassy way back at the end of April. And we've done that systematically, progressively, and we've adjusted depending on what was actually happening on the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing now.
So if no American is in the embassy, we've essentially closed the embassy. It sounds like you don't want to say that.
No, we're going to have we're going to have our core diplomatic presence.
We will.
And in effect, an embassy at a location at the airport.
Heidi Jo Castro following that story for us out of the Bureau in Washington. Heidi, yes, clearly the US administration says this is not Saigon light, but US embassy staff being ferried around on helicopters and getting out as quickly as they possibly can doesn't look like a huge success story.
That's right, Peter. And you heard the strained messaging from Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, this morning, essentially confirming that the U.S. embassy in Kabul will no longer have personnel. Essentially, there will be a small embassy within the airport. His words, with that core group of diplomats who will work to continue processing visas for those Afghans who aided American troops and are now trying to flee the country. He also said that the president's focus remains foremost on the safety of getting out those American civilians and diplomats, and pushing back on criticism coming also from members from U.S. politics, including Republicans who've called this a disaster that was preventable. Antony Blinken saying that the U.S. had accomplished its mission in Afghanistan in its 20-year war in having prevented another 9/11-like terrorist attack stemming from Afghanistan, and that it simply is no longer in the U.S. interest to remain in the country. He also did issue a stark warning to the Taliban, saying that any interference in this evacuation effort with U.S. personnel would be met with a decisive and swift response coming from those 5,000 U.S. troops who were quickly deployed, 1,000 of whom were quickly redeployed back into Afghanistan when the situation rapidly deteriorated. But of course, there is still much concern, much criticism stemming toward the Biden administration that why didn't they see this coming? Apparently, they had been given bad intelligence that it would take somewhere around 18 months for the Taliban to capture the country. Now, as that is happening before their very eyes in just weeks, the question is, why didn't they see this coming, and could this have been prevented?
Heidi, thank you very much. Heidi Jo Castro there in Washington. Suhail Shaheen is the international media spokesman for the...
Yeah, man, this Taliban situation heating up. They're basically saying that they took over the whole Afghanistan already. Antony Blinken or Belkin came on that bed and said, yeah, we have an embassy. It's going to be inside the airport. Hold on, what you mean it's going to be inside the airport? You don't have an embassy. Embassy's gone, bro. Talking about you're going to keep your diplomatic. What are you talking about? You don't have no soldiers over there. You're not keeping anything. You're in the airport right now, nigga. Mm-hmm. You waiting for anything to pop off and you running out too. So the Afghanistan hit their president or prime, whatever they consider that brother. He gone. He slid. He won't take in the fight. He slid early. Not early, but he slid today. Early on in the day he slid. So he out of there. These boys been trying to move towards this last little spot, this Kabul spot, since this was the last spot that was supposed to take over. I'm guessing that this would be the capital. Mm-hmm. And earlier, me and Empress was making a joke about it. It was
Kabul or Kabul?
Kabul, but the other cast was making a joke about the Americans begging them please, just don't take my embassy. Please leave the embassy. I don't know if they to the embassy, but the people in the airport now, bro. Not them people by the Taliban. The U.S. The forces decided that the best thing for them to do.
The U.S.'s embassy personnel to remove themselves at once and exit stage left in regards to Afghan. So yeah, Afghanistan has a little tiny embassy now in the airport. So boy, if you're in trouble in Afghanistan, you better run to the airport.
Man,
like Beckett did.
If you can make it to that airport, make it to somewhere, bro. Because the way the society is moving, it's instability everywhere. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's regime change. When Trump was in there, Trump had some type. What you mean? You over there killing people? I'm coming to get them. Send them back. It's like Biden, like, yo, sneak them in and sneak them out. Yes, send some troops to get the file. Yeah, get the Americans out. Get them out right now. Hurry, get back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you scared of them, Biden. Oh, it's at 668. I'm trying to call a cell right now, but would I be too late? This joint is climbing, bro. Climbing so much that I'm now in a negative.
What is it?
Not even that high. It's at 47618.
Oh, that's high.
Nah.
467?
I have a buy at 47759.
That's a high buy.
Yeah, I had this buy for like 3 days now. 2 days now. Earlier, I think yesterday it hit 48, and I was gonna take out, but I was like, what I'm gonna take 50. I think like it went up $60 or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't really need to get out the buy. I need to get out these sales. So I got a bunch of sell pressure right now on myself. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for it to drop these levels. All right, that's why I want to get it as high as I can get it on the 47 scale.
But you said you did a buy at 47 or a sell at 47?
I said I had a buy 47 from the other day when it went all the way to 48. Yeah, I'm saying right now I want to do a sell because they were just offering me 47688 for the sell. I wanted to take that sell position, but I'm saying I got so much sell pressure. I got a sell at 473. I got a sell at 471. I got a sell at 47102. So 47102, 47143. Those are both sales that I have. Mm-hmm. And I have a buy at 46. I have a buy at 47. So that's why I got those sales there, because I was like, oh, if I got this buy at 47, I got this sell. I got two buys, and I got the sales at 47. The sales could never go lower than my buy that's up. Mm-hmm. So if there's ever an instant that the sale try to take me over, that means my buy gonna be going crazy. Mm-hmm. So
cases on board a Carnival cruise ship. All those affected had reportedly been vaccinated. ABC's transportation correspondent Gio Benitez has more from the New York City cruise terminal on how it may affect the fight in Florida over vaccine passports. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Eva, good morning. All positive cases are now in isolation, but this is the largest number of cases we've seen since the cruise industry restarted operations right here in America.
This morning, more than 24 positive breakthrough cases aboard the Carnival Vista as it sailed through the Caribbean and Gulf. The Belize government telling ABC News 26 crew members and 1 passenger tested positive. With mild to no symptoms, all had been vaccinated. The ship left Galveston, Texas for Belize last Saturday, those positive results coming in before the Vista reached Belize. Carnival says contact tracing started immediately, including notifying passengers on the previous sailing too. So far, no other positive cases.
A cruise is a place where you're going to be in close proximity with others for extended periods of time. And so you have to think about the actual layout, what the policy is on this cruise line.
On this ship, 99% of the crew members were vaccinated and 96% of the passengers. All unvaccinated passengers, mostly children, will be tested again before returning to the U.S. The cruise line telling ABC News the CDC's conditional sail order and our own protocols anticipate the potential for COVID on board, and our procedures are designed to manage and mitigate any situation. This month, with the Delta variant raging, Carnival, Princess, and Holland America announced they would now require masks indoors regardless of vaccination.
Vaccinated or not, you have to think about your risk. You have to think about where you are, who you're around, and mask accordingly.
The outbreak is sure to get more attention as Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis argues against vaccine mandates on cruise ships. The governor facing off against Norwegian in court, a federal judge ruling for now Norwegian can require vaccinations from passengers in Florida.
And the ship is now arriving back in the U.S. this morning. But Carnival says the next time any of their ships go out, all guests will have to show proof of a negative COVID test before boarding, even, Trevor, if they are vaccinated.
Delta variant forcing these policies to just tighten and tighten.
The Delta variant is forcing the American people to look stupider and stupider as the day go on. Yo, go out, bro, and get 18 vaccines. And make sure you grab your vaccine, T. I got my vaccine, y'all. Oh, this is little bro dead in the back. Bro got their vaccine. Yeah, I gotta start saying that word, man. Bro got their shizat. Take the shot.
Jabbed.
Yeah, bro got juked.
You see water?
Jug. Going jug. Get that brother. The jug.
But yeah, I don't think it's right to tell a private company what they should do with their business.
What?
DeSantis telling Norwegian that they can't mandate vaccines? It's like, bro, this is my boat. I get to pick who's on his boat. The same way the bro was picking unvaccinated people to be in his private restaurant. It's a private business, bro. This ain't nothing public, bro. If it's public, bro, take it up with the government. If it's private, bro, it's like, all right, bro, you can't do that unless you do this.
So as long as they're not getting no government funding, they can do whatever they choose.
I would think you being self-reliant.
No, I agree with that. I'm not rocking with them. I'm agreeing with you. And what I'm saying is, the reason why I'm saying I'm agreeing with you and I'm not rocking with him, I'm saying I'm not rocking with that Norwegian dude. It's some pussy shit you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
But we need some brothers out there with some boats. Like, yo, you got the vax.
Can't take you here. We're doing herd immunity.
Because the problem with that V word is, bro, they had it. 27 of them. It wasn't a fluke where it was like, all right, bro, one bruh. He must have a weak body or something. 27 of the bruhs
had the shot and were testing positive.
So much so now, me and Empress was speaking with us earlier, and I was like, Empress, how do you assure that? And why do you do that? Like, what? Like, think about my time that ways. So I go get my vaccines. I went and got the Moderna, or I went and got whatever I went and got. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow the market open, so y'all already know about some plays. But anyway, you go get whatever you go get. Now you telling me I show up to go somewhere to hang out, but I can't because I didn't go get tested to see if I had the shit. Why did I get why did I get into this situation anyway?
Wait, you said you got vaccinated and then you pretty much were quarantined again because you tested positive.
I ain't quarantined yet. I got the vaccine. I'm showing up to Norwegian and I'm trying to go on the boat. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yo, we need a positive test for you. And it's like a negative test. And I'm like, yo, I got the vax though. Why do you need a negative? I got the vaccine already. So why even get it? I gotta bring a scientist on here. Why even get it? Mm-hmm. If you're telling me that I still even have to go get tested,
you're just literally a walking lab right now. And they're just trying to hit or miss. You've become a whole experiment now.
Oh, the first one didn't work. All right. Well, you know what? We got a third booster.
You're a breakthrough case. Put them on that list over there.
We got a third booster, and also we're gonna require it. I think monthly. Every month we're gonna. Niggas seem like we sick. Come on, bro. I can't believe we got this far and we allowed them to do this, but I'm glad we have people fighting back. So if what Empress is saying is fair across the board, where it's like, yo, we could do this if we want to do this, they could do that if they want to do that, I ain't got no problem with it. But when it's like, nah, bro, what y'all, because think about the narrative. Pandemic of the unvaccinated. We're gonna dig a little deeper into that. We're gonna lighten up the mood a little bit. But you can run that.
This incident, Police Chief James White says the officer in question did not have a lot of options. Video of a woman using the top of a police vehicle as a dance floor is making waves on social media. Some questioning why DPD did not arrest her.
What's frustrating for me is to read that the officers didn't do anything. Okay, well, they did exactly what we're asking them to do, practice restraint.
Interim Police Chief James White addressing the situation during a press conference Monday. Video of the incident was posted to Facebook over the weekend. Not only was there a woman on top of the car, there was another dancing in front of it. All of it, according to White, happening at a party on the city's east side with a few hundred people in attendance. Chief White says DPD's crowd management teams were there keeping an eye on things when a large crowd surrounded the SUV.
Had they drove off with this young lady on the hood of the car, on the very top of the vehicle, dancing, had they drove off and she rolled off the car and was injured, then I would be asking the question, you know, was that the right decision to make?
Chief White says there were no easy answers in that situation. People we talked with were stunned.
Totally unacceptable. Because you can get away with anything in Detroit. Anything.
I look at it like this. The cops are working. You know, they're providing for us. They're trying to make us safe. But at the end of the day, they had a good show.
Officers we talked with who wish to remain anonymous were divided on the issue. Some say they would have found a way to go after the woman and arrest her for disorderly conduct. Others, there was not much the officer could do.
See, and like I said, I'm gonna delve into this a little bit more, but that stood out to me, and it just stood out to Empress, so that's why I really wanted to stop it. Right, with that young lady saying something stupid like that. Man, bro, we losing our ways, especially women. Like, how you could play it. Crazy, bro.
In that situation.
Based on the facts that in the circumstances,
it's about to get worse, though, folks.
With over 100 people surrounding his car and choosing not to drive through the crowd with a person on the hood of the vehicle dancing, I think he's officer of the quarter based on what I've seen.
Even so, Chief White says that they are investigating what happened to see if the officer followed all department policies. Now, during that press conference, he also touched on the idea of mutual accountability, how police officers often have to exercise restraint. And on the other hand, the public has the responsibility to sort of police themselves. And dancing on a police vehicle is something that simply should not happen.
This is weird because it's a part of the video missing out. It was a gay. Why did I say the name like that? It was a brother that was a same brother that crawled under her, and he was like popping his back or some shit. Like he was on his all fours. He was squatting his back out. You could do it. Put your back into it, bro. And then I got the other one. The outrage.
The woman and arrest her for disorderly conduct. Others, there was not much the officer could do in that situation.
Based on the facts that in the circumstances.
Babe, take me off.
Bro, what's going on? How are we? I'm seeing this shit too much now. This is almost our narrative. We came out like this during the protests. We came out like this during the parties. Like, why are we involving ourselves in so much foolery? Man, it's concerning right now, bro.
These streets ain't got no rules or morals.
People ain't got no guardians, bro. These are
supervision.
Business owners near 32nd Street Naval Station are fed up with prostitution in their neighborhood. Welcome back. I'm Jesse Pagan.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. As News 8's David Goffredson reports, women working the street and Johns appear to be operating at all hours, even in daylight. And we do want to warn you, this story does contain mature subject matter.
This part of the town just isn't America's finest city.
This video may look like it was shot on El Cajon Boulevard in the 1980s, but it's happening here and now. In Barrio Logan along Dalbergia Street, right across from 32nd Street Naval Station. Prostitution in broad daylight. Women flagging down cars, talking to Johns, getting inside, and driving away.
Every day, girls back and forth. Guys come and pick up all the time.
Nearby business owners say they've seen it all, including all-out brawls in the street and lewd acts in public.
You see people having sex here on the street, and you cannot do much. You say, oh my gosh, again?
San Diego police are certainly aware of the activity. Take a look at this cell phone video where a woman gets into a car right before a police cruiser pulls up behind her. The man in the car sees the officers, and it doesn't take long for the woman to hop out of the car and walk away.
There's no respect for people driving cars. Like, if you're coming down the street, they will block your way.
This business owner wanted to remain anonymous. He says customers have refused to come into his business because of prostitution activity on the street.
They have certain people working in the morning, the noon, the afternoon. I know that sounds like it can't be true, but it is absolutely true.
The acting lieutenant of the San Diego Police Vice Unit told News 8, officers have issued several misdemeanor citations in the area as part of a 3-month operation aimed at cleaning up the neighborhood, but it doesn't appear to be working.
They say they can't do anything unless they catch them in the act. That's just the old story.
News 8 approached one of the women on the street, but she did not want to be interviewed. You have anything to say? I work at Channel 8.
Why the did you follow me?
We're doing a story.
Get your camera off me.
All right. The business owners tell News 8 many of the Johns appear to be coming from Naval Base San Diego, right across Main Street. And the problem seems to get worse on military paydays.
I heard they're charging like $150, $100, whatever. They're giving away.
The Navy emailed News 8 a statement saying the solicitation of prostitution is a violation of the Code of Military Justice and, quote, the Navy conducts mandatory annual training for every sailor on the significant risk trafficking poses for victims and the legal and professional consequences faced by those who participate in such activities. But consequences aside, business on the street still seems to be booming. San Diego City Councilwoman Vivian Moreno told News 8 her office has been receiving complaints about prostitution in this area since 2019. She is now encouraging business owners and residents to contact her office as she is working with police to address this public safety risk. On Main Street, David Goffredson reporting.
Oh my God! See, I'm glad when we say Mike is muted up here because they let you know to get your situation right. But Empress, you want to wrap this up?
Yes. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Wise Magi Godcast. This is the conclusion of episode 111. We'll be back on Tuesday for Taco Tuesday, where we talk about currency only. Make sure you tune in on Black Wall Street Bet's YouTube channel. Until next time, peace.